Today's episode of Bears Now is presented to you by Aura, an all-in-one digital safety company that keeps your wallet and your identity secure while you are online. Start a 14-day free trial. See what they're all about when you go to aura.com/chatsports. I'm proud to tell you more about them later on in today's show. Speaking of today's show, well, first off, let me backtrack just for a second here because I know it can be a bit confusing of I'm on screen, and then Harrison's on screen, and then I'm back on screen. Harrison is still out of town. He's still across the pond in Italy, getting the world's second-best pizza. So I'm filling in every once in a while when he's out, and he's got a couple pre-recorded videos he's putting out because he wanted to give you guys the most content possible. But here's what we got on tap for today. A new, right, I know, we've heard this before, but a new Robert Quinn trade idea we will explore. Plus, should Bears fans be optimistic for N'Keal Harry in round 2 for his career, and hopefully he can salvage it after being a first-round pick for the Patriots 3 years back that just has not lived up to the hype. But if you guys are ready for training camp and to see pads on and actual football being played, hit that thumbs up icon to get today's show started. Let's start things off by looking at the latest Robert Quinn trade idea. It's peak off season, folks. I don't know how else to describe it. Bleacher Report, wherever their cave is located, they just love putting out daily trade ideas revolving around Robert Quinn. And the latest one has the Bears sending Quinn to the LA Rams for quite a haul, might I add. A second-round pick and a third-round pick. Now, I've seen a variety of Robert Quinn trade ideas, and they all tend to land in that second to third-round range. Haven't seen many where it included both a second and a third-round selection from the Rams, who we know LA loves to. Their mantra is F them picks, right? That is their motto. That is what they wake up in the morning and think about. But at some point, you can't say F all them picks, because here's the 2023 draft capital for LA. They've got their second. They don't have their first. Keep in mind that belongs to Detroit because of the Matthew Stafford trade. Second, third, sixth, a seventh, and a seventh. They lost their seventh-round pick for that Sony Michel trade, and they lost their fifth-round pick during the draft when they traded for cornerback Troy Hill from the Cleveland Browns. So do they really want to enter the next draft with just 3 picks starting in round 6? I don't know. I was about to say I don't think that's likely. No, there is just no way any GM, even for Robert Quinn, would sign up to start the draft at round 6. Now, maybe you could move up a little bit, but it's not like they've got a lot of assets to sell off and get back into earlier rounds. So I don't see this trade happening for a handful of reasons. That's probably the biggest one, though. But I'll let you guys be the judge here. Will the Bears trade Robert Quinn just at all? Type T for trade or P for pass. Curious what you guys have to say about this, because I would think if it was going to happen, it might have already happened. I think if it does end up going through, it would have to be because of an offer that just blows Ryan Poles out of the water. It seems to me he is not content on just absolutely destroying this roster, because let's call it how it is. This is not a very talented roster. There are a lot of starters on this team that wouldn't be a starter on most other teams. Now, he's got a good piece in Robert Quinn. Does he really want to just tear everything down and do all he can to secure the number 1 spot in the draft? I don't think that's how he wants to start his regime. Now, he's definitely regutting it, right, and starting a foundation, and that's fine. And that's why you moved on from Khalil Mack, and you made some of those moves. You didn't bring Allen Robinson back. But just sell just to sell? That doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? I think if Poles is going to end up trading Quinn, it's because he gets an offer he can't refuse. Not because, well, we're rebuilding, so we might as well trade him. Anyone want to take him for a 4th or a 5th? Because we've got a yard sale sign outside of Hallis Hall. Everything's for sale except for number 1. No, I don't think that's what Ryan Poles, how he wants to start his career as a general manager in Chicago. He's not looking to finish last in the league. He's looking to rebuild this franchise and rebuild this team but not in the process giving away every single good player because that's what you do in a rebuild. We've got more of this to get to in just a moment, but like I said off the top of today's show, our proud sponsor Aura has so many awesome benefits for Bears fans, like real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. What does that mean exactly? Well, let's say you're like producer Trace right here, who may have had his credit card hacked, and all of a sudden he's getting charges for a hotel room on Bourbon Street when he was not there yesterday, or he probably wouldn't be here today. So make sure you let Aura be your watchdog. Keep you protected while online. Aura.com/chatsports, 14-day free trial. Figure out if Aura is right for you. That link's in the comments and the description of today's show. Just to kind of wrap up on the Robert Quinn segment. A midseason trade could make a lot of sense if the Bears start off, I don't want to say it, but 0-4, 0-5, 1-5, a bad start to the season, and they know, which we know now, but they confirm they're not going anywhere in the NFC this year. Why don't we start selling pieces off and getting what we can and get ready for next year? Well, I don't think you're going to get this Robert Quinn ever back. Like the 2021 Robert Quinn, what a waste of 18.5 sacks. It is like the definition of empty calories. It is one of the most bizarre things that Robert Quinn will go down with an 18.5 sack season, and no one's ever going to really remember it because 2021 was just a disastrous season in Chicago. So it's a bit of a gamble to wait mid-season. If Robert Quinn isn't putting up those kinds of numbers, you're not going to get anything close to a second or a third for him. All right, next up on the show. Should Bears fans be optimistic for N'Keal Harry coming over to Chicago after being traded from the Patriots? We're going to break that down and more in just a moment. But listen, you better hate the Packers. If you don't hate the Packers, I don't know how I can help you, or I don't know what you're doing here. So if you hate Green Bay, if you hate the frozen tundra, and you want to shred and grade some cheese with me, subscribe to the channel and spam FGB. F the Packers and F Aaron Rodgers. He should be in prison. He should have been released after the Packers broke the IR rules back in 2017 or whatever it was when he got hurt after, I think, Anthony Barr destroyed his shoulder. But the Packers loopholed their way out of it. So F Green Bay. If you hate Green Bay and you love the Bears, subscribe to the channel right now. All right, now that I'm going to try to cool things off here a little bit, I hate the Packers. But N'Keal Harry, I don't hate this. I don't hate the trade that Ryan Poles pulled off when he traded a 2024 7th-round pick for N'Keal Harry. Basically a bag of footballs, right? It's almost like the scene in Moneyball when it's like, can you please stock my vending machine? That's what a 2024 7th-round pick feels like today. Now, I'm optimistic and hopeful that N'Keal Harry will find more success in Chicago compared to what he had in New England for a couple of reasons. One reason is he's entering a new system with everyone else, right? You've got a new head coach in Matt Eberflus. You have a new offensive coordinator in Luke Getsy. Everything's being installed. Everything's pretty new for everyone. So he's not necessarily behind, all right? Another reason why I'm decently optimistic is pretty good size receiver at 6'4", 225 pounds. That was a huge reason why the Patriots selected him out of Arizona State. Not so much because of what he proved production-wise as a Sun Devil, but you saw the physical elements of a 6'4" receiver with great speed. Yeah, we'll try to work everything else out in Foxborough. Let's just get him to New England. Now, let's backtrack a little bit here. The Patriots' offense is notoriously difficult for everyone. It is not easy for a rookie to just step in there and pick up the offense like that. Under Josh McDaniels, you never really saw young wide receivers thrive. Just kind of think about it for a second. One, you never really heard of rookie Patriots wide receivers. And N'Keal Harry was the first-round pick that was a wide receiver in a long, long time. I don't remember. I'm not a Patriots encyclopedia. But that's not their mantra. So when they made that move, they didn't, in my opinion, have a good plan in place to build him up to be a successful player. Instead, when you're in New England and you screw up, you're on the bench, right? That's how it works. And it's worked for Bill Belichick. I'm not knocking it. It's produced 6 rings for him. But if you're a rookie, you're going to make mistakes. And he was not put in a great position to make mistakes and grow as a receiver, but also play in New England. Now, if you look at his stats throughout his career so far, he got off to a slow start his rookie season, missed the first half of the season after being placed on IR. Then he rebounds well-ish, sort of, but not really. At least, well, he rebounds because he played 14 games, which was double compared to his rookie year. But still, let's call how it is. He has been very underwhelming and a bust so far for a first-round receiver who has not even a career total of 600 yards. I mean, in his career over 33 games, and just 4 touchdowns. But when you look at the Bears' depth chart here, Darnell Mooney, Byron Pringle, Velus Jones Jr., none of those guys are huge 6'4" targets for Justin Fields to throw to. So now, which the Bears, starting last year, went all speed at receiver, right? You had Bird, you had Grant. They wanted to be fast. And, well, Matt Nagy's offense just sucks. So I don't even know if you could really chalk it up to because they didn't have any receivers of size, really. But N'Keal Harry can offer Justin Fields and this Bears offense something they don't really have, which is a big target to throw to. Now, the good news for N'Keal Harry, like I said, it's a new offense. You're not coming in and you're desperately trying to catch up to everyone. You were traded before training camp so you can get the playbook, and you're not catching up in August and it leaks into the first couple weeks of the season. Plus, you have a second-year quarterback in Justin Fields, who is also still learning and growing as a quarterback. So he's not this polished, finished product, 10-year vet quarterback who's either going to say, either get with the program or get out of the way because we're moving along. No, Justin Fields is still learning how to play the quarterback position in the NFL. Now, let me ask this question before I get on out of here. Will N'Keal Harry be a contributor this season? Y for yes or N for no? Just a contributor. Let's use that word. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments section. And hey, while you're down there, if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do so. If you love the Bears, you hate the Packers, whatever floats your boat, we've got the best Chicago Bears YouTube coverage out there. So hit that big red button, subscribe, and we'll see you later with more Bears coverage.